Good morning, card media. It's RJ back with another video. So let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day from 2011 Tops. An insert into the basic set, the diamond die cut of Mr. Schmidt. There was actually 155 different people in this insert set. A very thick card stock, as you can see. Kind of a fancy little thing. The film cover on this is kind of like coming apart. It's hard to see. There's some, trying to get the sun in it, some printer spots or some bubbling you can see. I guess these things don't last. The chipping around the edges. It's not chipping, it's the paper separation or the film separation. I guess that's just, doesn't last forever, I guess. But the diamond die cuts from 2011 Topps insert set. Today's random baseball item of the day. I'm always one to talk about looking at my collection, old cards, cards that most people never bother to look back on. I still enjoy looking at. And I found this one, and I really never knew it. 1995 Score Select, Jim Abbott on the Chicago White Sox. I had no frickin' clue that Abbott was ever a member of the Chicago White Sox, but there he is. I did not bother to look up his, his career to see where else he did, but you can see he had been with the Yankees. We all know he'd been with the Yankees and the Angels, but this one shows him on the White Sox. And again, I had no idea. So it's always fun to look back on old cards and see what you can find that you didn't even know existed, all right? Jim Abbott on the White Sox. Today's trivia question. Got a fun week planned for you. I have the set from TCMA. TCMA from 1979, the Stars of the 50s set. What I'm going to do, now the images on the front, the design of the card, all it has is a photo, but no team, no name, just a photograph of a player from the 50s. Well, I'm going to show you one card per day of my videos, one card on Monday today, one card on Wednesday, one card on Friday. And I'm simply going to ask you, who is this? Now, each one will be a Hall of Famer, so it should in some way be somewhat easy for you to figure out. But here is on Monday, today, who is this? No information, just an image. Name this Hall of Famer. That is your trivia question. What you're playing for, if you saw one of my videos from last week, I got an extra one of these Topps Stadium Club 2004 Mike Schmidt cards, so that's the prize. Just shoot me an email with the correct answer. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that one. So, today, what I want to show off is something I've been working on recently. Spent a lot of time, what do I want to say? I'm always looking for new things on eBay that fit in my collections. And some of the things that fit in my collections, one of the things I collect are stamps, uncut sheets of postage stamps. So right in here in my mail drawer, I'm going to reach over and grab something out of my mail drawer because I still have a couple of these. Still have some of the Hank Aaron stamps. This is not my collection. This is literally stamps I used on special mailing. So I buy these full sheets of stamps whenever I can, and I collect full sheets of baseball stamps. That's one of my big parts of my collection. I enjoy that. So I picked up a whole bunch recently. So let me show off some new acquisitions to my baseball stamp collection. So starting with 2009, 44-cent Negro League baseball stamp. It's a two perforated stamp. I'm trying to get the light. You can see here. There you go. So you have this action shot of somebody sliding into home in an Eagle League game. And then Rube Foster, who was Rube Foster was the organizer of the first, it wasn't the first modern Negro League, but in 1920, he tried to reestablish a successful Negro League, and it came and went and came and went. It was always there, but never really great. Eventually, it really took off in the latter part of the 20s and through the 30s and 40s before it collapsed after integration. A little bit of bio on the back here you can read. And a really cool, I did not have this one yet. So I snagged this one. Again, these are really inexpensive stamps. I mean, because, stamps, everybody's making stamps. Why not? There's not a lot of price to them. So I snagged a whole bunch of new stamps to add to my collection. Now, this one was already a part of my collection, and I had known about what I'm going to show you also before, but never bothered to do it. So just a random group of 4 people, Major League Baseball, created these stamps here. Major League Baseball All-Stars. Turn it over on the back. You can see it's from 2011. They were still issuing, this is when they switched over. From 2009, if you saw, it was 44 cents. Here you are in 2011. They've switched to, everything is now a forever stamp. Every stamp they produce is a forever stamp, at least what we call first-class postage. So anyway, this had Ted Williams, Larry Doby, Willie Sturgill, and Joe DiMaggio. Now, interestingly, again, you have these 4 players. Why these 4? Who knows? But what they did then was, in addition to those sheets of the 4 players, they issued individual sheets of the 4 players included. So, for example, Ted Williams is in the upper left-hand corner there. Here's a sheet just dedicated to Ted Williams. And then up there is Doby. Here is a sheet. These sheets specific to those players I just picked up recently. Specific to Larry Doby. Down here you got Pops, Willie Sturgill. Here is the Willie Sturgill sheet. And then lastly, Joe DiMaggio. Here is your Joe DiMaggio sheet. All right. Another great addition to my postage stamp, my baseball postage stamp collection. Now, another U.S. stamp. This is going back even further. I'm going to try and find the year on here before I show it off to you. I think this is 92. I'm pretty sure it's 92 because of the subject here. Let me see if I can open it up without tearing it. Well, I'll just show it to you. Try and hold it up so you can see. It's in a sleeve. It makes it difficult to see, but from 1992, 29-cent U.S. baseball Olympic baseball, whole sheet, unused sheet. Actually, it does say from 1991 here. Would have been before the Olympics coming in 92. So the Olympic baseball stamp, full sheet from 1991. Now, in addition to the United States putting out occasional baseball postage stamps, there are a number of foreign governments who create postage stamps featuring American baseball stars, knowing that stamp collectors and baseball enthusiasts in America will buy them. And these governments, they make money. They earn money for their needs by selling these kind of commemorative stamps to the U.S. market. And these foreign nations, a lot of the Caribbean islands do it. A lot of South American countries do it. They don't just limit themselves to baseball and baseball-themed things. They do all kinds of different commemorative stamps, but obviously I'm only interested in baseball. So one of those island nations in the Pacific is a little island nation called St. Vincent. A little pair of islands called St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But here are 2 sheets issued by St. Vincent. I can't remember what the year this is. I believe mid-90s. Just stars of the MLB, but it has, I believe it's rookie, and it shows people like Babe Ruth and Johnny Bench. in their rookie years or making them look like rookies. It's got Yaz, Randy Johnson, and that kind of stuff. Really cool stuff. These all say specimen across the front. Now, that's because I have both of them with that format. In truth, there's 3 versions of these stamps. One that has specimen across the front, one that does not, and one down here has a highlight or a listing for the Hurricane Relief Fund or something like that happened at one time to these nations. So there are 3 versions of these stamps that you can get. I have a couple of them. I'm only showing off the specimen version because I got both. I got the specimen version in both styles. I don't have the plain in both, and I don't have the Hurricane Relief Fund variation in both. So I'm only showing off this one. Actually, it's early. 1989 is the. Well, no, 1989 is probably when these stamps were issued, because you can see here all these guys are 1989, except for the veterans here. Cool little thing. Not one of my most amazing ones, but it was very inexpensive. That's one of the great things about stamps. They're very cheap, so I figured I'd pick it up. Now this one, fantastic. I'm a big fan of baseball movies, meaning I'm trying to acquire a DVD of every single baseball movie ever created, movie dedicated to baseball. I'm trying to acquire those DVDs. Now, some I've only been able to acquire on VHS tape, but I'm trying to get them all. And here's a release from an African nation called Gambia, the Gambia actually, and it highlights baseball on film. So I'm going to show you a couple. So here's baseball on film. These are different biographies. You have Ronald Reagan as Grover Cleveland Alexander in The Winning Team. Jimmy Stewart as Monty Stratton in The Stratton Story. And Anthony Perkins as Jimmy Pearsall in a movie called Fear Strikes Out. Now, I actually have these 2 films in my collection. I have not yet acquired a copy of The Winning Team with Ronald Reagan yet. But it's a cool little stamp piece that I'm happy to have. Another one from the same run. This is all about Yankee greats. So here you have John Goodman from The Babe. Very forgetful film. You have William Bendix in The Babe Ruth Story, widely considered one of the worst baseball films ever made. And then Gary Cooper, Pride of the Yankees, the Lou Gehrig story. So these were all films highlighting the Yankees. And you had a couple, one film that was just by itself. Here you got The Natural, nice big blow up of Robert Redford. This one's highlighting the film The Natural. And then here's an interesting one, Ladies' Day, ladies in movies. So movie, obviously, we all know League of Their Own. We all know Bad News Bears. They highlighted Tatum O'Neal as Amanda, the pitcher. This one I never heard of. Movie called Girls Can Play. This actually came out in 1937, so it would have been before A League of Their Own, even the real A League of Their Own, the real, what I want to say, even before the real All-American Girls Professional Baseball League in 43, this movie came out suggesting girls can play. Interestingly, I've never heard of the movie. I'll have to try and track it down and see if I can't find a copy of it. Then there were 2 larger sheets that just had a whole bunch of different baseball films. So let me show you this one. First one. Again, these are all still from the Gambia and Baseball on Film release. The Jackie Robinson story. The Bingo, what is this? The Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. I have both of those films. 8 Men Out, I have. Major League, I have. This one here, Bang the Drum Slowly, I have. Bull Durham, I have. Field of Dreams, I have. And Mr. Baseball, I have. Great group of stamps. All right. And then we have this one here. Again, baseball on film. This one I've never heard of. Casey at the Bat. I'm wondering if this is like a silent film version that I suppose I could have gotten, but I'm not aware of it. And here's another one, Elmer the Great, with Joe E. Brown. Never heard of this one. Take Me Out to the Ball Game. This one I do have. It's got Esther Williams, Frank Sinatra, and Gene Kelly. Great film. Pride of St. Louis, about Dizzy Dean. I had that one. Interesting one here, Babe Comes Home. I had this one time. I think I sold it. It's actually a movie about starring Babe Ruth. It doesn't really follow Babe's real life. It's just a complete fictitious story, but Babe Ruth starred in it. That's what made it great. Here's a movie called The Naughty 90s, which has nothing to do with baseball per se, but it's the only feature-length film in which Abbott and Costello did their routine. Damn Yankees, I have that one, great film. And then Brewster's Millions, I believe I have that on film. Really not a baseball film per se, but baseball features prominently on it. So those are all the different movie stamps I got from the country called the Gambia. And that is the conclusion of my additions to my baseball stamp collection. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm not sure if you guys out there collect baseball on stamps. If you have a nice film collection about baseball, would love to hear what you guys have in that regards, all right? Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best for everybody else in this great card community, all right? Thank you very much. Have a great week and take care.